This video is kindly brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to create a beautiful online presence. Hi, my name's Janelle and welcome back to Rosery Apparel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing how to make this dreamy textured dress from just a few rectangles of fabric. I am so happy with how this dress turned out, and I'm sure once you see just how easy it is to make, you will have a go at making one of these dresses too. For this project, you'll need about 2.5 to 3.5 meters or yards of a main and lining fabric, about 4 to 5 meters of 12mm wide elastic, some thread that matches your main fabric, and if you'd like your dress to have pockets like mine, then you will also need to download my free pocket template, which I'll have a link to in the description below. The fabric I'm going to be using for my dress is a beautiful broderie on glaze that I purchased while in Japan last year, and I'm going to be using this embroidered scalloped edge as a feature of this dress. First things first, we need to cut 2 rectangles from both the main and lining pieces with the following measurements. I have decided to use the width of my fabric as the length of my dress, so that way the scalloped edges will be along the hemline of my finished dress. Because of this, I won't be adding any extra length to my main fabric rectangles for seam allowance. However, if you're needing to hem the raw edge of your fabric, make sure you add about 2 to 3 centimeters or about an inch extra to each end of your rectangle for hemming. The length of my finished dress is going to be pretty long, but you can customize the length of your rectangles to make the dress as long or as short as you like. You will also need to cut out 4 pocket pieces using the pocket template and 4 thin rectangles from your main fabric that will be the straps of the dress. And once cut, you should now have the following pieces. To make this dress, start by overlocking or zigzag stitching the pocket pieces along the curved edges to prevent them from fraying. Next, with right sides of the fabric facing, place the pockets onto your main fabric rectangles approximately 25 centimeters or 10 inches from the top edge. Stitch the pockets in place like this. Once stitched, overlock or zigzag stitch the raw edges. Then, with right sides together, place the 2 main fabric rectangles on top of one another and stitch them together along the sides, making sure to stitch around the pocket pieces like this. Next, take the 2 lining rectangles and pin and stitch them together along the sides. Then fold and press the top and bottom raw edges in by about 1 centimeter or half an inch twice. And if you're not using a decorative edge like me, do the same for your main fabric rectangles. Stitch the folded edges in place. Before we start stitching the lining to the main fabric, let's just take a quick break to talk about the sponsor of this video. This video has been very kindly sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to create a beautiful online presence and launch your passion project. Whether you'd like to start making and selling your own products, create a beautiful portfolio to showcase your work, write a blog, or simply create any website of any kind, you can design and create your dream website all by yourself with Squarespace. Squarespace make it so simple and easy to create an aesthetically beautiful website. Simply select from their range of different templates, and trust me when I say each template is just as beautiful as the last. And once you've selected your template, you can then customize it completely and add everything you will need to run your business successfully. You can change everything from the overall layout of the website to all the fun things like the fonts and colors with just a few clicks, no background or knowledge needed in coding whatsoever. I have been using Squarespace to run the Rosery Apparel website and online store since 2016, and I ended up creating my website in literally just an afternoon. It was that simple. Squarespace also allows you to sell in person as well. So if you have a retail store or if you sell your products at markets, then you can connect a Square Reader to the Squarespace app, and you will then be able to keep your orders and your inventory and your customer data all in sync with your online store. I just think that is absolutely genius. So if you'd like to try out Squarespace for yourself, then I totally recommend you take advantage of their free trial. And then when you're ready to launch your beautiful new website, head to squarespace.com/roseryapparel for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to the tutorial. Now it's time to make the straps. Take the thin rectangles we cut out earlier and fold one of the shorter edges in by about 1 centimeter or half an inch. Then with the wrong sides together, fold and press the rectangles in half. Then unfold it so that it now has a center crease line, and fold the edges of the rectangle to that line. Then fold it in half once more so that all of the raw edges are nicely enclosed onto the inside. Stitch the folded edges in place. Repeat this until you have 4 strap pieces. Next, take the lining piece and make sure it's as close to the same size as the main fabric rectangle as possible. And then with wrong sides together, place the main fabric rectangle inside the lining rectangle. Pin the 2 pieces together along the top edge. It's at this point you will want to also pin the straps we just made into this pinned edge as well. So place the straps in between the 2 layers of fabric, approximately 15 centimeters or 6 inches from the sides, and pin them in place. As we stitch the lining to the main fabric, we're also going to be creating channels to be able to thread some elastic through. I actually ended up using the grid embroidered design on my fabric as a guide for where to stitch the channels, but if your fabric is plain or doesn't have a grid design like mine, mark out the following guide directly onto your fabric with a water erasable pen or some tailor's chalk instead. Also, as you stitch the top channels at the top of the dress, make sure you're also sandwiching and stitching those straps in place as you sew. And your lining rectangle should now be stitched to the main fabric rectangle, and you should also now have 5 channels to be able to thread some elastic through. Next, measure out 5 lengths of elastic that sit snugly around your bust. Then attach one of the ends of the elastic to a safety pin and feed the elastic into the channels of the dress. Once your elastic is thread all the way through, sew the ends together with a zigzag stitch like this. Then repeat this process for the remaining elastic pieces. Once all the elastic has been threaded into the dress, you can stitch the openings along the back closed. Then lastly, give the gathered bodice a good press with your iron and tie up the straps into a bow. And your dreamy rectangle dress is complete. So, how does it look? So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you're now inspired to have a go at making a dress just like this one for yourself. What I love about this dress is you can also just tuck the sleeves into the dress and be able to wear it strapless as well. It is just such a versatile dress. As you can see, I'm wearing it with a t-shirt underneath today, but it's perfectly lovely to wear on its own or with jumpers over the top. Yeah, I am obsessed with this dress and I'm so happy with how it turned out. If you do have a go at making this dress for yourself, then I of course would love to see it. So make sure you tag me at Rosery Apparel when you share your photos on Instagram so I can see them. And if you found this video helpful or if you've learnt something from it, then I would really appreciate it if you could give it a like. And yeah, subscribe to my channel for more sewing tutorials like this one. Have a lovely day and thanks for watching.